Welcome to SBR TV. I'm Peter Loshak. This is our NFL Experts Roundtable for Week 17 in the NFL. We actually only have one guest this week, Dave Golikoff from AskMen.com, due to scheduling conflicts with everyone else. This is a tough week, of course, Week 17. There sometimes are obvious great picks due to situational circumstances, and maybe you've identified a few here. I haven't seen any so far myself, but I also haven't looked that closely. And you picked two games that you want to talk about. Both could fall into that category. The first one is Panthers at New Orleans. Now, New Orleans is a 9-point home favorite, and New Orleans, of course, has been absolutely awesome at home this year. We don't need to list all of their accomplishments, all of their scores. We know they've been awesome at home. Carolina Panthers, of course, lots of problems. They do have the talent to beat up on the dregs of the NFL, but they pretty clearly aren't capable of being competitive yet with the top teams, maybe not even with the mid-range teams. The question is New Orleans motivated here? They are technically playing for a first-round bye, but they'll also need a loss by San Francisco, by the Niners, in order to get that, which probably won't happen. But I guess I can assume that they're going to be playing all out in this game, and if they are, you got to think that 9 points is a good line here. Is that how you see this game?
No, I actually like the Carolina Panthers in this game.
Really?
I just don't believe that Sean Payton is going to send his troops out there to go full bore, knowing that the 49ers are playing the lowly St. Louis Rams in Week 17. But yeah, I just believe that the 49ers are going to take care of business, and I think the Saints are going to believe that. They're going to be, placing some bets, so to speak. And, I really think that the Saints are in great position to win the conference in the playoffs. I know that's looking way down the road, and I think really the Packers and Saints, we're probably going to see that rematch that we saw in Week 1 in the NFC Championship game. And the reason why I think New Orleans rest player this week is because they've seen what happens to Green Bay going down the stretch, really going all out when there isn't so much to gain. The Packers are down so many offensive linemen right now. They've got running backs with concussions. They've got their defensive on the defensive side of the ball, they're beaten up. The Saints, they don't really have a whole lot to gain here. I don't think that the 49ers are going to stumble in any way against St. Louis. Carolina's played pretty well. This game means a lot to them. It's a springboard game. We always talk about these young teams finishing up the season well. This is a great spot for Carolina to earn a win that means nothing to New Orleans, but means plenty to them. So I actually even like Carolina on the money line in this game. I also like, I like Carolina plus the 9, and I like them on the money line here too.
Amazing. Well, I'll tell you, if the Panthers cover this one, you are a freaking top-tier expert in my book, because that is a ballsy pick considering how New Orleans has done this year and what they did last week to Atlanta, who's clearly a superior team to Carolina.
I just think that worst case scenario, even if the Saints play semi-hard, I don't think they're gonna try as hard, especially not after a Monday night football game against the Atlanta Falcons, short week. This is a chance where they can really get a little bit of rest, catch their breath, because they're going to have to play the next week too, right? Because if they're not going to get the bye, they're going to have to play. So there's, I honestly, Peter, I kind of like Carolina's second half. I know we don't know how the first half is played out or anything, but I really like Carolina Panthers second half. You may have the Saints come out, try to keep everybody sharp and and sort of call off the dogs in the second half. But I think we see from time to time in the NFL what it really means to have that full intensity and just what happens when you take that foot off the gas a little bit.
I like that second half recommendation as well.